Yes, I want to talk about how I believe that technology is advancing at a snail's pace. I repeat, technology is advancing at a snail's pace, horribly slow. Technology is unnecessarily primitive. And more to the point, it's the year 2014. There's all kinds of technology that should exist now, but doesn't exist because we live in a stupidity-oriented, dumbed-down dystopia, among other things. Instead of being concerned about technological advancement, most people care more about Kim Kardashian. Yeah, I know I'm mispronouncing her name, but I'm a Star Trek fan. Anyway, they care more about Kim Kardashian and this celebrity gossip malarkey instead of how to improve the world technologically. I might also want to add that maybe the real reason why technology is advancing at a snail's pace is because we don't live in a resource-based economy, or more specifically because we're in a monetary system that doesn't care about technological advancement but cares about profit, and I think that's stupid. Yeah, hindering technology for profit. That's what the monetary system seems to be doing. But anyway, with that being the case, I want to focus on 4 areas of slow technological advancement. And first and foremost is the space program. I think the space program is probably the best example of this. I mean, we go back to 1957 with the launch of the Sputnik satellite, and then about 12 years later, is that 12 years? This was 12 years. Oh, my math would be off anyway. 12 years later, we have the Apollo 11 lunar landing, people on the moon within 12 years after the first satellite is launched. 12 years after the Apollo program, what do we have? We have the space shuttle in development, or at least at the early stages. And guess what happened after that? 30 years of space shuttle launches, 30 years of low Earth orbiting. I mean, that's not space exploration, that's just circling the Earth. It's not progress. And more to the point, the space shuttle was not advanced. Its technology was not advanced very much over its 30-year lifetime. I mean, they made upgrades here and there, but for the most part, it's exactly the same technology they had when they built the damn thing. I mean, that's really stupid. Can you imagine if the airline industry was the same way, where 50 years you have the same aeronautic technology, and no advances whatsoever. Of course, in reality, air technology advanced dramatically. I guess it might partly be because of World War I, but aside from that, the space program is unnecessarily behind what it should be, behind technology what it should be. I mean, let's go over this again. Okay, 12 years after Sputnik 1, we have Apollo 11. A comparable advancement would be 12 years after Apollo 11, a human Mars flight, perhaps. If not that, at least a moon base. But instead, we have this horribly slow, horribly non-productive space program. And as I said before, the monetary system is probably a major reason for that. And it's also politics. Because I'm going to say this. I'm really going to say this, but I've said this, I think I've said this before. Whatever the case, I believe that politicians are among the stupidest people on the face of the planet. And politicians are a major reason, or maybe the reason, why the space program is advancing at a snail's pace. So you have this Cold War malarkey. Oh, we got to beat the Russians to the moon to prove we're better than the Russians. And then it's done, and they decide, let's go kill the space program. Well, of course, it wasn't canceled, but it got significantly reduced. And as a consequence, they call all these NASA programs. You could have better space stations, you could have Mars flight, all kinds of goodies. But instead, because of politics, the space program is advancing at a snail's pace, horribly slow, practically no progress. And what's worse is that we now live in an age where advancing the space program is hated by a lot of people. So if someone suggests we can send humans to Mars now, they say, that's impossible. It'll take 50 years to figure out how to get people to Mars. All that cosmic radiation will kill the astronauts before they even get halfway to Mars. I mean, WTF. I mean, people love to brag about how computer technology is so much more advanced and whatever, and yet they turn around and decide that the space program is just not practical or whatever, some such malarkey. I'm going to disagree with this claim that nobody can go to Mars now. I mean, I think the technology has been available for at least 30 years. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, all these people who say that going to Mars is impossible are saying it because they don't want it to happen. That's stupid. If you don't want a Mars mission to happen, too damn bad. If you don't like people going to Mars, don't go to Mars yourself. It's that simple. But perhaps there is a light at the end of this tunnel with SpaceX and Elon Musk. I mean, I've heard that he intends on getting people on Mars within a decade. But at the same time, morons keep saying that that's impossible. Oh, he'll never do it. That's impossible. Too much radiation. People are going to die trying to go on Mars. Yeah, that's another thing that bothers me about this whole decline in the space program is that space travel is supposed to be dangerous. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, you can reduce the risk, but it's supposed to be dangerous. What else do you expect? But, what's that guy's name? Yeah, Magellan tried to sail around the world. He didn't survive, but that didn't stop other European explorers from exploring the Earth. I mean, if those European explorers had the same attitude that people have today, they'd be stuck in Europe and whatnot. But yeah, I do admit that a mission to Mars would be dangerous and it could kill the astronauts, but I think it would be worth it. Because if I had a choice between spending the rest of my life on Spaceship Earth, the biggest ship of fools in the universe, and risking the megadose of cosmic radiation on the Mars mission, I'd rather go to Mars and risk the radiation. Yeah, I'm for real about that. I think there's more I can say about this subject, but I'm kind of at a loss for words at this point in time, so I might bring it up another time. Next issue I want to bring up is medical technology. As far as I'm concerned, medical technology is also advancing at a snail's pace. If not, there'd be a cancer cure that would have been cured months ago, years ago possibly. But instead, medicine is advancing slowly and horribly. But or more to the point, I want to focus on one area of medicine that should be significantly more advanced, and that's regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine! Anyway, regenerative medicine, the ability to reproduce body parts in the lab. I've noticed that I do recall there being some advances in regenerative medicine over the last few years, like, for example, the bladder implantation cases. And as far as I know, those cases have been a profound success and are still a profound success. But, of course, you don't hear much about regenerative medicine because people are still focused on Kim Kardashian and all this other stupidity-oriented malarkey. And I'm assuming that if people knew more about regenerative medicine, there would be more money pumped into it, and then we'd have better advances in that area. Like, maybe my colon could be completely restored after the surgery I went through a few months ago. But that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But it should have been. It should have happened much sooner. It should have happened. What am I trying to say? It should have happened sooner, or whatever. Or more to the point, if there was a cure for cancer, I might not have had to have part of my colon removed. But again, I'm still convinced that medicine is advancing at a snail's pace and is far behind what it could be right now. Next, of course, is computers. Yeah, computers. The computer industry loves to brag about how their computers are so much more advanced than they were years ago. Our computers are so advanced that your cell phone has more computational power than all the computers NASA had during the Apollo program. That may be true, but unfortunately, whatever advances that have been made in computer technology now are way behind, as far as I'm concerned, way behind what they should be. I mean, every computer I've had has all kinds of crazy glitches and whatnot, slowed down incessantly. I mean, gigabyte hard drives and stuff, gigabytes of memory, and that's still not enough to give you a fast computer. I mean, what the frack? One thing that perplexes me about computer technology is, why isn't there holographic memory yet? I mean, you have holographic memory. If you remember the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, the HAL 9000 computer ran on holographic memory. That's what those holographic plate things that astronaut guy was pulling out when he deactivated HAL. Anyway, with holographic memory, as I understand it, it's holographic memory is different from conventional computing in that instead of storing information on the surface of silicon chips, information is stored on holographic plates. And because they're holographic plates, you don't just store the information on the surface of the plate, you store it within the surface with at different layers, different levels, whatever, at different angles, and therefore you can store an exponentially greater amount of information than you can on the silicon chip. But for whatever reason, we don't have holographic memory. And of course, I'm hearing about this new thing called quantum computing, which, if I remember correctly, uses individual atoms, or let's say individual atoms, if I remember correctly, to store information. And I think that would be even better than holographic memory. But of course, that sort of thing is probably decades away from commercial application. And if we didn't live in such a backward dystopia, we might have holographic memory now, and maybe quantum computing could soon be on the way here. And then there's automotive technology. Yep, that's probably one of the worst ones on the list. And here we are in the year 2014, and most cars still run on the very primitive internal combustion engine, which was invented over 130 years ago. It's practically the same technology. I mean, what the frack? It would be like, it's like, might as well be still using horse-drawn carriages. Maybe you should use a horse to pull your car around or whatever. I mean, that's how primitive I see the internal combustion engine to be. And it's anachronistic. It does not belong in the 21st century. I mean, if we're gonna have internal combustion engines in the 21st century, we might as well, like I said before, have horse-drawn carriages too. Have other primitive, anachronistic technology from centuries ago used now as if that was some modern, normal thing. Oh, I hate that. The thing about that is that all kinds of alternative power systems for cars could have been developed years ago, not years ago, decades ago, even centuries ago. Well, maybe not centuries ago. Decades is a better word. I believe reading somewhere that the first electric car was invented in the 1830s or something like that. So, of course, it wasn't widely used. It was experimental and whatnot. So, electric cars didn't really take off until the late 1800s. And then you have this battle between internal combustion and electric cars. And if I remember correctly, an author by the name of, I forgot this guy's name. Oh, was it Eric Black? Anyway, I'll just say, I remember reading a book, not reading a book, but reading a review or seeing a C-SPAN broadcast about this author who explained that in 1912, Henry Ford and Thomas Edison tried to bring back the electric car because they were a bit bummed out by the pollution and toxicity and whatnot of internal combustion engines. And every time they tried it, the other auto companies sabotaged them. If that hadn't happened, we would have had electric cars for 100 years. And in 100 years of time, that electric car technology would have advanced, would have improved, and we wouldn't have all this climate change concern these days, or at least it would be less significant. That's one possibility anyway. And I can't emphasize this enough. Internal combustion is completely anachronistic. It is unnecessary. It is useless. It doesn't make sense to have this sort of primitive Stone Age technology in the 21st century. There's all kinds of what I call alternative energy systems for cars, less polluting, no polluting, whatever. Instead, we got to focus on this Stone Age technology, because the auto industry is run by morons who are too stupid to consider clean energy. I mean, let me restate that. Let me restate that. Okay. What I'm trying to get at is that much of the auto industry is against clean energy. Not all of it. I mean, I do recall hearing news of various auto companies trying to clean up their act, but still, they're not doing a good enough job. And if things had gone the way they should, I think they should have, we'd had clean energy cars running for decades. Okay, I guess I could stop right there and focus on the root cause, possible root cause of this thing. And as I said before, the monetary system is probably the main reason why this is the case. Remember, as you may know, companies care more about profit than anything else. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about advancing technology. As long as they can make money, that's all they care about. And that's incredibly stupid in my opinion. They need to stop doing that, because the survival of the human race might depend on advancing technology to a better extent than it's currently being advanced. I'm also reminded of the issue of technological unemployment. That I think that's probably a factor as to why we still have this Stone Age technology, and why technology is advancing at a snail's pace. Because if there was more automation than there currently is, what that would mean is that there would be less jobs available. Less people with jobs means less purchasing power. Less purchasing power means that companies don't sell as much, and if they don't sell as much, they might end up going out of business. It also lead to total economic collapse. And it's an example of how the monetary system has been rendered obsolete since 1927, and therefore I will again say that we need to look into creating a resource-based economy. A resource-based economy would end up creating the opposite effect. Technology wouldn't be deliberately hindered for profit, or deliberately hindered because people are such morons. We would have technology advancing by leaps and bounds. Yep, that Star Trek future I like so much could actually happen, because in a resource-based economy, all goods and services are free. And in a resource-based economy, technological development also free. So if you want to create a let's look at these examples on my notes. Let's see. You want to create faster computers? You could use the best technology possible. Maybe develop holographic memory technology, for example. You could actually do that, and you don't have to worry about people being out of work, because in RBE, work is optional, and those who do work limited hours anyway. Let's see, what else I want to bring up? Basically, I want to bring up the whole idea again. Okay, let's try this again. The focus is that a resource-based economy will make rapid technological advancement possible, because there's no monetary motive to slow down technology, and RBE has a very scientifically based culture, so therefore technology will advance by leaps and bounds. You have all the goodies that I wish were here, like perfected regenerative medicine, a vast space program, cures for cancer, pollution-free cars. That would be here in a resource-based economy, because resource-based economy is about technological advancement. It's about the survival of the human race, about improving human life, about improving the world. But unfortunately, I'm stuck in this stupidity-oriented monetary system, which I hate very, very much. But since that's the case, I'm still motivated to try to get the resource-based economy started one way or another. So I guess I can stop right here, or whatever. See you later, Ralph Nader.